What's up, y'all? Part two of this week's episode of Shoe Booty Sports. Yeah, coming at you a little later than usual. You were waiting for something good, weren't you?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I got nothing.
No.
I knew it beforehand, but yeah. So we're gonna talk some college football now. Can you hear me all right, by the way? Not to do
Yeah.
a sound check right in the middle of the show, but yeah, it just sounds a little off right now. Maybe it's because I have another light on in the hallway. I don't know.
Could be.
Could be. All right, enough of the dumbness on my part. College football recap. Uh, Arkansas beat South Carolina. They are now number 10 in the rankings. We can discuss how we feel about that in a bit. But what would you grade Arkansas and their performance against South Carolina Saturday in the 11 o'clock game?
First half was a solid A. Second half, I don't know. I'll give us a B minus
B
overall.
minus. First three drives were an A plus. I mean,
Oh,
first three
definitely.
drives, it looked like we were gonna mercy roll them if there was such a thing in college football. I mean,
Those first three drives, we looked like one of the top five teams in the
yeah,
country.
we look like a top 10 team in the on the first three drives for sure. The rest of the game, yeah, lots of penalties, shot ourselves in the foot, some bad PIs, some turnovers.
Hell,
Yeah,
penalties were responsible for what, 14 of their points pretty much. So kept those drives alive.
yeah, I'm
Let them
gonna
get
give
in.
them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them a solid C overall for the game because I mean South Carolina's not there yet. I mean I know they got some players, but they're not there. They're not there yet. That's a team that you should beat by two, 3 scores probably. Although I guess it probably ended up being around that, right? What was it?
Yeah.
Two
It
score
was
game.
two-score game. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a C though. They got a lot to clean up, but they did jump to number 10 in the rankings. I just looking at them, I don't see them as the 10th best team in the country, but I'm okay with the ranking. Looking at their schedule, see, I'm a little conflicted on it. They don't look like the 10th best team in the country to me. But then again, looking at their schedule and the games that they could potentially win, it is realistic that they finish the regular season like 10-2. And if they're 10-2 in that league, it's hard to say you're not the 10th best team in the country, right?
yeah.
That you have a strong case when it comes to that. So I have kind of mixed feelings about it. I'm also thinking of how high they got in the rankings last year and then just got absolutely mauled. Uh, who was it that week? Was it Alabama that just
Well, we didn't get mauled by Alabama,
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
think.
that's true. They did play well against it was Georgia, right?
No, because we went and opened up the season. That's Georgia. We played right off the bat last season, right?
No, that was 2 seasons ago when they were a 3-1
Yeah,
team.
it could have. Yeah, it could have been Georgia. Yeah, they they throttled us. Yeah.
Yes, because I it was I can't remember who it was last year, but they were like weren't they like number 7 in the country or something at some point? Arkansas. They were high up there.
No, sure. I didn't think they cracked the top 10.
Maybe not, but they were real high up there.
Yeah, but
Surely
we
not.
all knew it. It kind of threw up a red flag. Like, hey, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
we did. We were like, yeah, they're not that good. And I guess I'm kind of thinking of that. Like as soon as they ran into an elite team, they found out they weren't an elite team. But yeah, it was
I was expecting us to be like 12 or 13, but yeah, 10 kind of surprised me.
yeah, I thought Sam Pittman handled it as well as any coach could. He said in the presser like, yeah, some people ripped on it, but what am I going to do? I mean, I was excited about it. And I'm going to use it as a recruiting tool.
Yep.
Like, yeah, we're recruiting. He handled it exactly how the best way he should, which he does pretty much everything, right? I mean, how it took this man this long to get a head coaching gig is a little beyond me based on it's just because he was a position coach, an
Yeah.
offensive line coach. But the guy can recruit, he can coach players, and I mean the players love him. The players love him, the fans love him. I'm glad he got his first shot at Arkansas. I'll put it that way. Love me some Coach Pittman, man. But
Yep.
I'll give him a C. I'll give him a C. I thought KJ played well, like he has been since being the starter last year. KJ looked good, made some plays, didn't like the, stretching the ball out and then possibly causing a turnover and touchback. Didn't like that. And you could even tell he was like, "What? What I do wrong?" As they were replaying it. It's like, dude, yeah, don't do that. Do not do that.
He did have the one touchdown pass pretty much dropped by Landers. I mean, that was probably going to be a touchdown. He was wide open
It would
and
have
then
been,
just
yeah.
didn't look it in. I mean, that's whenever I was like, oh crap, if they were ever going to get back into the game, now's the time.
What's the linebacker's name? The what
Drew
42 or whatever?
Sanders,
Drew Sanders. Okay, I was like, it's not Landers, but it's
dude.
yeah. He played well. I was impressed with him.
Oh yeah, I knew he was going to make a name for himself, but
I didn't know anything about the guy. I just knew him as an Alabama transfer. So I was like, oh, he must be all right. But no, he played really well. I'm glad to
he
see him
caught
out there.
yeah, he caused a fumble with the back of his helmet, it looked like.
What
Like he
what?
was like falling backwards when he did
Yeah,
that.
play of the
It's
game
pretty
to
good.
me though was Bumper Pool taking
Yeah.
the onside kick just in stride almost to the house. That was cool. And then he recovered another, but just laid on it. And then of course we blow the one that he doesn't. He's like, I'll let somebody else get some glory. And sure enough,
Yeah.
whiffed on it.
That's like Rocket's only bad play.
Yeah, the Rocket Raheem Sanders, man. He's become the guy. He's become the guy in the backfield at Arkansas, and understandably so. He's going to be okay. Over under 1,500 yards for Rocket Sanders this year rushing. If you had to put money on it,
Man, I want to lean towards the under just because we have KJ and some pretty good
DeBinion.
backup. Yeah, the
Uh,
Binion. Of course, yeah,
who's
I
the
think
number 0? Who's the number
Green.
0? Green. Yeah, he can play too, man. He had a touchdown, didn't he?
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he has the talent to go over 1,500 yards. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think there's going to be enough volume for just him
I think
unless he's
yeah.
just breaking off these monstrous runs, which I hope that's the case. But yeah, I'm not expecting it.
15 would be a little high. I shouldn't have probably said it that high. Okay, I'll say this 1,300
Yeah,
over
so
under
okay,
13.
13. Uh, I would. That's still. I'm expecting like 1,200, so I'd still go less than that.
I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I'll say that too. It could be 1,100 yards. I'll say under because you got Trey Burks. Was the absolute stud of Arkansas's offense last year, and and he was still like at 1,100 yards. Which is a great season. Not knocking it. But it's 1,500. That's a lot. When I said that,
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, that's really high." But he's just had these two huge games, back to back, and not a lot of carries. He's doing on like a little over 20 carries. So he's playing. I mean, he's the guy though. He's the guy that's going to get the most totes as he should. All right, but yeah, that was a good game. It ended up being a good game. It looked like it would be a blowout early, but
yeah.
it ended up getting interesting. Made me a little nervous there for a bit. Just us both being Arkansas alums, as you folks should know by now. But there were a lot of really good games over the weekend too. A lot of upsets, a lot of close games. The big close one. Alabama comes back to edge Texas at Texas, right? Yeah, it
At
was at
Texas,
Texas. Yeah,
they should
in
have been.
Austin.
They should have lost, but
Yeah,
Alabama
they
had a couple more couple more of their men on the field. They're wearing the white and black.
Yeah, I didn't see the game, and I saw like some of the penalties. I didn't think there was a like just on the replay. I didn't think there was a
The whole roughing the passer and not intentional grounding, not a safety or anything. That one was the one that got me.
well. Didn't they call intentional grounding? Wasn't that the
No,
thing? Or no,
they never even discussed it. They
no.
said
It was roughing the passer.
targeting and roughing the passer.
Yes, it was roughing the passer that they called. I don't know
Neither
about
one
the
of them were true,
targeting.
but you can't argue a penalty. You can argue the targeting, but not the penalty.
See, just
Which it
looking at
just
it live
completely bailed
though.
them out. Looking at them live, it didn't look anything.
Well, looking at it live, I could see why they would call it the roughing the passer. I could see it. Like I could see why they would call it. It wasn't just like an egregiously horrendous call to me. Like I was like, yeah, I could see it. You know, like I wouldn't have called it personally, but when it happened and I watched it because everybody was talking about how
You're-
bad of a call it was, and then I watched and I was like, yeah, I could see why they called it.
Yeah, just in the few plays, because I was flipping onto that game, while the Arkansas game was on commercial break. But it seemed like every time I flipped over there was some replay going on with or Alabama defender just tugging all over the Texas receiver, and nothing was getting called. Like it was blatant pass interference and nothing.
Yeah, I didn't pay any attention to that. I mean, I paid attention to the score and when they would show the highlights, but Bryce Young was the Heisman Trophy winner at the end of the game, and that's how they won the game. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Texas still should have won the game despite all that. But Alabama has been really good when playing Texas about taking out the starting quarterback early on. Like they've been really good about that,
it's yeah.
and then doing what they have to do to win. So they've been really good
Who
about
knows
that
what
when
would have
playing
happened?
Texas.
Yeah, if they would have taken him out in the first quarter, dude, who knows?
Yeah, like when Bama beat Texas in the national championship in whatever year it was, what 2009 or something
Ot
like that.
nine, way back in ot nine.
Yeah, so like I thought Alabama would have won it anyway. I thought they just changed their game
Yeah,
plan when Colt McCoy left, which is essentially that's what they did. I thought Alabama would have won anyway. Yeah, I don't know that Alabama would have won that game had the guy with the mullet, stayed in the game. I can't remember his name. It's a
they
different
would
name.
not have won that game because they were moving the ball up and down that field.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, man. That's what it looked like. But I don't know. I don't care either way. I don't like either team.
Oh, I don't either. That's yeah. I had no dog in the fight. I couldn't. I didn't want anyone to win the game. I wanted it to end in like a tie, but
That would
it's
have been
impossible in
fabulous.
college football.
It is impossible, but it would have been fabulous. But that was the close one. That was the big close one. What did you see the clip of like some of the Bama players were doing
Yeah,
the horns down thing, and then Saban yells at him as he's running out on the field, "Quit that shit." That was pretty good. That was my favorite part of the game, I think,
yeah,
the post
for
game.
sure.
And the upsets, App State, of course, this is the big one. Appalachian
Upsets.
State beats number 6 Texas A&M at College Station. Man, that was I was in the shower at the end of that game because I had to hop in. My mom was coming over and she's in town. She wants to do all these things. Like, I can't do a lot of things. I got a sick dog I'm trying to take care of, but we can go eat or something. So I'm like in the shower. I get out and she was there at that point. She was playing with my dog. And I was like, so who won I was like, who won? And she's like, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. And then the score pops up and it's like, yeah, like App State beat them. I was like, oh my God, they really beat them.
They
Like
really beat them.
I figured A&M would have done something to come back and win. I just figured that's how it would, like, surely this isn't going to happen. But nah, man, Appalachian State did what they do from time to time, man. They just go beat top 5 or top 10 teams, What was Michigan, like number 8 the year that they knocked them off in 2000 whatever?
Yeah, I think they might
7.
have been higher than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that that was that was the big one. That was when they got put on the map. Is when they beat Michigan. At Michigan. But they almost beat what, North Carolina last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they almost beat North Carolina. I mean, dude, that's a team that's going to ball out in their league. I couldn't even tell you what league it is, but they're going to ball
Sun
out in
Belt.
that league. Are they a Sun Belt team?
I think so. Oh no.
Yeah, well, and Arkansas State hung with Ohio State longer than I thought they would. It ended up being like, the
Yeah.
final score ended up being what I thought it would be, but no, Arkansas State hung with them for a while. But the other was Marshall beating Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame looked okay against Ohio State, early on, but then Ohio State separated themselves. Notre Dame did not look good in the clips I saw. They don't have a great quarterback. They don't. Yeah, it's a rough start for this new head coach, man.
First first Notre Dame coach to go 0-3 to start his career. That's got to be a good feeling, right? He lost his bowl game and then he lost his first two this
Oh,
season.
I was gonna say, where was the third game? Yeah, do we really count that? I mean, he was the head coach, but it
Yeah.
wasn't his players. It was Brian Kelly's players.
They still should have won that game, right?
I can't even remember who it was against. Who even was it against? Because you weren't in the playoff.
No. But yeah, they are in the Fun Belt.
Okay, all right. Well, shout out App State, man. That was it. That was huge. And Marshall beating Notre Dame was huge. And I liked App State's tweet. I think after at Texas A&M. Thanks for the 1.5 million.
Dude, just shout out the Sun Belt in general, man. Marshall getting upset.
Yeah,
Then Georgia Southern, right? They
I
they
didn't
pulled it
realize
off
Marshall.
too.
I didn't realize Marshall was the Sun Belt. Got all these teams in the Sun Belt.
Dude, they wrecked shop last weekend, man.
Yeah, they were the full on Fun Belt, man. Full on Fun Belt last week. They did that and got paid doing it too. Like
Got paid. Yeah.
Marshall got like 1.3 mil, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, to beat Notre Dame. In other news, pleasant for Nebraska fans, not so pleasant for Scott Frost, who got fired at Nebraska. What was it? Monday, I think it was. Was it Monday? Might have been Sunday. I don't know that he made it through
I think
Sunday.
it was Sunday.
Yeah, I know he. It didn't it didn't take very
Dude.
long.
I don't know. I think I could have stuck with him for 2 more weeks just so, it'd save me. What, 15 million?
Yeah, well, I think his buyout was 15 million. I don't remember the exact details, so if we screw
Or
this up, feel free
yeah,
to. I mean,
15 million, but I think if they would have waited till the first of next month, it went to 7 or 7.5. Like it
yeah,
literally got cut in half.
yeah, his buyout was 15 million, and if they would have waited, till like mid October or whatever, it would have been 7.5 million. Would have been the buyout, and so it made no sense to me. Like he's gonna still lose games. I mean, he's got a losing record at Nebraska.
Your season's already gone.
Yeah, but so I can understand. I didn't understand it either, but then somebody brought it up why it happened, and they were like, well, they don't want to take the chance of him winning games and then being like kind of a lame
And
duck
then being
coach.
stuck with him, yeah.
Yeah, got like LSU was with Les Miles. They let him stick around, and then he ended up winning some games and got all the
Eating grass
support.
and yeah.
Got all the support was carried out, by the players in the last game, and then he comes back the next year and then just eventually gets fired, shortly thereafter. They didn't want to do that. To them, it was worth it. It was worth an extra 7.5 million to just say, just go home
Just yeah, don't come back.
and start your coaching search now. They have the money, you know.
I was
I
going to
mean,
say, you think Frost is starting his coach search now?
well, he's got 15 million reasons to just, kick back for a little bit and weigh his options. So
Yeah.
I don't feel
I,
sorry for the guy.
I'm sure, in the next 1 or 2 seasons he'll somehow be on the Alabama staff. He'll be some kind of low level assistant.
I mean,
It's kind of how it goes.
I thought he would do well in Nebraska. If I mean, Bo
Yeah,
Pelini,
he was the hottest name. I mean, other than what Venables at the time, and that's before Venables came out and wanted to coach, so or wanted to be a head coach.
yeah, we knew
But
what
yeah,
you meant. But yeah, I mean, he was very successful. Obviously, at UCF got them that national championship
national
that they,
championship, dude.
yeah,
I mean,
got won a national championship at UCF.
they got to
It's
keep telling you about it, or you're gonna forget it because it didn't
yeah.
happen.
What were they? 12-0 or 15-0? What were they?
But, dude, I think they were like 25-0 that season.
It could have been.
I mean,
There were
could have
double
been.
digits and an O next to it.
Yeah,
Undefeated national championships.
they've got
Undefeated,
banners and everything. It's legit.
undefeated, undisputed national champions
Their trophy
on
just looks
the
different than the standard national champion trophy.
yeah, but it's on the press box, so it happened.
They're still
So
selling souvenir cups from that season, by the way.
I don't blame them. I mean,
Yeah, I seen the tweet. It's like, can we please stop with these cups from 2000, 2019? Like, we
yeah,
get it.
all right. But I thought Scott Frost would do well there, man. Like I said, if Bo Pelini can win 9 games a year, I mean, Bo Pelini's looking pretty good right now, right? Nebraska would. Nebraska's kind of like they became Arkansas in a sense. Like we kind of got sick of now. What a lot of people said, people got sick of Houston Nutt because he was only winning like 9 games a year. That's not what it was.
No,
We got sick of the play calling, the
everybody
predictive.
and their mom knew what was coming.
Yeah, we got sick of the predictable play calling. That's what we got tired of. It wasn't the we. I'll gladly take nine wins a year in the SEC. It was the predictable play calling that we all got sick of. And so when they went out and got a coach that could call plays, which we'll get to in a little bit, he yeah, we were excited, man. Uh, but yeah, I thought Frost would do well, man. Like it has a losing record at Nebraska. That baffles me a little bit. It's like Charlie Strong and having a losing
And it
record in
wasn't
his time at
close.
Texas. No, it wasn't. No, it was
It's
not.
not like near 500 or anything. It's it's way below.
It just did not work, man. It did not work. And it's some places you just go. I mean, it's like Bielema. Bielema would have been a college football Hall of Fame coach had he stayed at
Just
Wisconsin.
stayed. Yeah.
Had he just stayed there. I don't blame him for rolling the dice and trying something else, but it did not work. It just didn't work at Arkansas. But you could kind of tell, you could even the optimistic fan could see the signs early. Like you're not recruiting in our pipeline. You're reaching out to places like South Florida. Why? You know, like we're not going to get most of those guys. You lucked out and got a couple of them, Alex Collins, etc. But look at who all you're competing with. You need to stick to where we go. Like Texas has some ballers, you know. I mean, you're only going to pluck up one or two good ones out of this state. Maybe a few more, but no blue chippers.
No.
Not in Arkansas. There's just not enough of us. Stick around that Louisiana, Texas area. Pay attention to that. And you know, they never did that. They didn't do a lot of things. That and it's still and I know Fayetteville people, you know, are still and I lived in Fayetteville for 7 years, so I can say this. But Fayetteville people they think all the games should just be in Fayetteville. They see no relevancy to Little Rock. And I'm like, the blue chippers that you do get out of this state are going to
They're
come
from that area.
they are
Yeah.
coming from the 501, especially in basketball, you know,
Yeah.
especially in basketball. But in football, look at what Bryant High School is doing, you know, right now in the state of Arkansas. I don't think they've lost a game in 5 years, you know, so it's Little Rock matters. When we were kids growing up, being from Central Arkansas kids, the only time I ever got to go to a Razorback game was when they came to Little Rock, and they came twice a year. That was the only time I ever got to go see the Razorbacks. I wouldn't have cared about the Razorbacks if I didn't get to go see them, you know? So Little Rock matters. And you gotta, and Bielema's whole coming out and saying it's basically a road game, coming out to the press and saying that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not gonna go well. That's not gonna go well. The people in Northwest Arkansas, a lot of them are gonna agree with them. Brooks Ellis had the quote of, "Yeah, it's an away game." Being a Fayetteville kid growing up there, born and bred, that's my only real knock on like the Northwest Arkansas fans. They just they see themselves as up here and the rest of the state down here. Like, no,
Okay.
the rest of the state
The rest of the
matters.
state, yeah, you wouldn't see your hand where they went.
Exactly,
So yeah.
precisely. Yeah, Little Rock matters, and that's part of the reason that that administration isn't around anymore. Being Jeff Long and Brett Bielema, they didn't see it as such, and it does matter. So, yeah, I went off that little mild tirade there for a bit, but just we did transition. It was basically coaches you thought would be successful at a certain place. It just didn't work out.
Hmm.
Uh, could that happen to Brian Kelly? Is there a chance that happens to Brian Kelly at LSU? Or is LSU just that pipeline just too rich to fail?
I think it's too rich. I think he's gonna have to do some boneheaded play calling, like at the end of the game or something. He's gonna have to blow it.
Which
Yeah, I
which
don't.
he which he doesn't do. He does,
Yeah,
he doesn't do that. His strength is on the football field. I mostly just think of it's gotten off to his whole tenure so far has been a weird tenure. Like he everything he's doing off the field is what's damaging him.
yeah,
The whole like the fake at Southern accent when he's introduced as the coach. I mean, he couldn't have started worse off. And then like defending it, like I think in their bowl game, and I like vehemently defending it, and just his some of his interviews, like getting into it with the press, like talking about them being late, and then of course the reporter says, maybe if you won your game, we'd show up on time, which was fantastic, by the way.
yeah. It's great.
One
Yeah,
1-0 reporter. The reporter had a winning record that day, not Brian Kelly. But I'm like you. I think the just his. I think he's. It's like he's trying to be. It's like he's trying too hard. If that makes any sense. He's trying just too hard to fit in. Like, dude, just win games. Like, and you'll fit in just fine. You win games. That's all they care about.
yeah. You win games, you can fake whatever the hell accent you want. It's like,
Yeah, or just be yourself.
oh,
Just be Brian Kelly.
yeah, yeah.
Just be Brian Kelly from wherever you're from. Like, the Northeast or which I believe is what it is. Um,
I'm pretty sure you could talk like the the coach on Waterboy.
I thought that's where you're
If you
going with
yeah,
that.
if you
Well,
win every single game, yeah, they
well, he.
wouldn't care. You could talk in Billy Madison gibberish
Well, I was gonna
as
say
long as
the.
you're winning games.
I say the guy in the water boy though. Half the people from Louisiana would understand that. It seems like
Yeah,
so. But uh, yeah, just be yourself, man. Just be yourself and win games. Quit trying so damn hard to fit in or establish whatever you're trying to establish there. Just establish it by winning games. And because my thought is if you can win 11 games a year with Les Miles as your coach and win a national championship with Ed Orgeron, which both of those guys won natties at LSU. What do you think Brian Kelly's going to do, right? I'm with you. I think it's too rich of a pipeline to he's too set up to fail, too well set up to fail. But just quit shooting yourself in the foot. It's just been a weird era so far. They did beat Southern University Saturday 65-17,
yeah.
which I
They beat
found out today. Do you know where Southern University is?
it's in Louisiana, right?
It's in Baton Rouge. Like it's also in Baton Rouge.
It's the satellite campus of LSU.
Like how weird is that, right? It's also in Baton Rouge. You want to guess their enrollment? Their
Like
mascot is the
total,
Jaguars. Total
I don't know,
enrollment as of last year of 2021. Just take a wild shot.
12,000.
8,317.
Dang.
Yeah, right. Let's say when I was at UCA for a year, it was like we were in like 10,000 or something, you know. So yeah, I was just surprised that it was also in Baton Rouge. I thought that was kind of wild. But okay, so with the Nebraska job opening up, the immediate memes of Urban Meyer getting grinded on, and then Nebraska being put on the on the girl doing the grinding, that was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Any chance Urban Meyer takes another college job, or is he done for a while?
No, there is always a chance. I mean, the guy has never done what he said he's going to do. So,
That is
yeah,
accurate.
yeah, if there is a chance. There's always a chance.
Yeah, that would he
I don't know
even
for
consider
Nebraska though,
Nebraska?
dude.
Yeah.
I don't know for Nebraska.
Like if you leave Ohio State, you're not going to go to Nebraska. I
Man,
don't think it would be Nebraska.
they'd have to like get the little kid, the corn kid to come and do the sales pitch and all kinds of stuff, and I still don't think he would do it.
No, but seeing Nebraska football what it was, in the 90s and the Tommy Frazier years and all that, just I didn't think they would. It's one of those programs you wouldn't imagine just a coach having a losing record at. Pretty wild to think about. I mean, of course, the 90s was a long time ago, but man, they've fallen on some hard times. Like I said, Bo Pelini's looking really good right now, man. Those 9 and 4 years are looking a lot
Yeah,
better. Where is he now? Is he coaching? Is he an assistant somewhere? Consultant?
I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I hadn't heard it in a while.
But
So
he's kicking back and loving this though. Like you know that.
yeah, for sure. He's
Yeah.
definitely got his popcorn ready.
All right, and we didn't even talk about like okay, Arkansas playing Missouri State Saturday. It's a night game, right? 6 p.m. game.
Yeah, I think it's a prime time game.
Yeah, on ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus, which so I'm gonna have to go somewhere else to find the game, I think. I'm not sure that we get that. Do we get that one on the YouTube TV?
Which one?
It's SEC Network Plus or ESPN Plus. Well, I don't have ESPN Plus. That I know.
I'll give you my password for ESPN Plus if you don't get it.
Okay, bet. All right, so problem solved. All right, because I'd rather watch it on my 65-inch TV than a smaller one somewhere else where I have to actually get up and go somewhere. All right, bet. So problem solved. But yeah, the reason this game matters to Arkansas fans, I mean, it's another game. You want to get the dub, but Bobby Petrino, former Razorback coach, head coach of Missouri State, whatever they are. What are they? The Bears?
The Bears.
Yeah, out of Springfield, Mo.
Yeah, I think they're
Uh,
the best team in Missouri.
yeah, they could. I mean, they very well could be. They're 2-0. I mean, Bobby Petrino's a coach, man. I mean, he
Oh,
can he
he's
can
gonna be
coach
calling
football.
them plays. Yeah.
Yeah, he's up for this one. But apparently the places that sell neck braces are completely sold out in the Northwest Arkansas area.
Dude, I heard people been looking for him for like the last 6 to 7 months.
Yeah.
Like,
See, it didn't even hit me this game until I saw the schedule. And I was like Missouri State, and it took me probably 3 or 4 seconds for it to hit me. Like, wait a minute, it's
hey,
where Petrino
wait.
is. It's where Petrino is. Yeah, but the hashtag braces for Bobby, I think, is what it is going around right now. So It's a good hashtag, by the way.
Yeah.
What's a score prediction from you? I know we're both going Arkansas with this, obviously. Gosh, imagine what would happen if Petrino somehow pulled that off. But what's your score prediction?
I don't know, probably 45 to 31.
Really, 31. Okay.
Dude, he's gonna be dialing up plays. He's gonna be giving you eye candy. I think he's gonna be putting up points.
On our defense and beat up secondary, yeah, it's very possible now that I think about it. I'm going to go 44-28. 44-28. I don't know how I need to write these scores down because I'm not remembering them. I don't even remember what I said last week. And I listened to the show. Like I listened to our show. So it's yeah, 44-28. Won't remember it, but yeah, if one of us gets it right, point it out, next
Yeah.
week. But all right. So I think we covered everything in week 1. Is there anything we missed? What did we miss?
I can't think of anything.
Exactly. So
And that mean ass stiff arm by Hazelwood, but yeah.
that was dope. Yeah. I was like, dude, we got a dog back there, man. We got a
Yeah.
dog at receiver.
The-
And shout out also Coach Sam Pittman, average offensive lineman for Arkansas, 6'6", 316 pounds. Absolute monsters, unit, dogs up front, man. That's how Rocket Sanders is getting 100 plus yards on 20 something carries. Them dogs
Yeah.
up front. So shout out to the O line, man. As offensive linemen ourselves, yeah, shout out them. Dexter, please don't knock those cords over. Gosh, that made me nervous. But whew, right as we're ending the show. The other one thing we did miss, TJ Watt, who was absolutely mauling the
Dude,
Bengals
he was
Sunday,
manhandling them. Yeah.
completely mauling the Bengals in every way, shape, and form. Out for the foreseeable future with a torn pec. Those are not fun. Haven't had one, but I've seen the result of some, and that's pretty gross. So hope he comes back healthy. But till next time, shouldn't have done that. Till next time, we will be back with we should be back Tuesday. We'll be back Tuesday next week with episode 47 of Shoe Booty Sports. That'll be the John Lynch episode. I didn't even have to Google that one. That 47, I remember it well on that Broncos jersey and Bucks jersey. Just the Bucks, right? Did he play for the Broncos? Okay, he was on the Bucks. I know that. I remember
Yeah.
the 47. Okay. It was on a jersey. There we go. All right. Till then, this is your host, Graham Powell, co-host.
Brad the Brown.
All right. Till next time, y'all.
Episode 2 is ended.